The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission maintains that the election was flawless and that any charges of irregularities in the results are based on forgeries and false assertions. IEBC has torn into pieces of evidence by the petitioners during its rebuttal to claims that the August 9th poll was flawed and that William Ruto was not lawfully elected as president. We begin tonight with NTV's Ibrahim Karanja.
The highest court in the land will seek to answer questions about the safety and security of vote tallying, verification and declaration of the August 9th election. IEBC is now basing the election processes on account of the Constitution and previous court directives.
Where the law refers to the commission, it is not referring to the commissioners, but it is referring to the body corporate that my learned senior referred to and which is established or under the provisions of Article 253 of the Constitution, which says that each commission is a body corporate with perpetual succession and a seal.
The poll's referee cited the Constitution and IEBC legislation to assert that vote tallying and verification was legal, notwithstanding claims by breakaway commissioners that they were not involved.
The decision as to who members or the electorate will elect is made at the polling station, and the outcome of the voting is determined on the same day. There is not a single affidavit or evidence that has been placed before you by anybody who says that the results that were pasted on the doors of every polling station, the Form 34A, is different from the ones that were announced or declared by the chairperson at the National Tallying Center.
The petitioners in the case had argued that postponing polls in Kakamega and Mombasa counties suppressed Odinga's vote. However, according to the IEBC, their data revealed that the postponement did not affect the voter turnout. The commission has also torn into pieces of evidence by Raila Odinga, claiming that results forms presented to court was a result of forgery.
In 2017, the IEBC serialized its logs using the names of the constituencies. In that particular log, you'll find a name Changamwe. This time round, they did not use the names of the constituencies. They used the serial numbers.
The IEBC has also refuted claims that no presidential candidate attained the requisite 50% plus one votes, saying that the petitioners' numbers were incorrect and dismissed allegations of unexplainable differences in presidential candidate votes and those of other elective positions.
The petitioners have tried to argue every other point except numbers.
We have 7 proofs. We have our rows at the polling station. They had agents. You had agents at the CTC. We have the original. You have agents at the NTC. We have original. We have what is transmitted in the portal. We have original. All of them tally, and you are saying your client's votes were deducted. How?
IEBC told the Martha Koome bench that the list of persons alleged to have accessed their servers were authorized workers and that no unauthorized person accessed the server or interfered with the results transmitted. With the fabric of their credibility in question and the results of the August 9th election now at stake, the IEBC has taken most of its 4 hours to prove that the election was conducted in a free and fair manner. Their response today rolling the carpet for a rebuttal from the petitioners tomorrow. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV from the Supreme Court of Kenya in Nairobi.
Meanwhile, the IEBC chairperson, Wafula Chebukati, has told the Supreme Court that he was being vilified for doing what exactly the minor Kiai appellate court ruling directed him to do. He urged the bench not to entertain calls to have him barred from holding public office on grounds that he has security of tenure. NTV senior political reporter Duncan Haimba has the details for us.
The Wafula Chebukati legal team that was also appearing for IEBC, led by immediate former Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai, calculatively submitted responses that they said their client was a victim of political mob justice.
The vilification against this gentleman goes beyond anything we have ever had before in this courthouse. It was personalized, it was vindictive, it intended to lower his standing in our community.
Professor Muigai told the court that Chebukati did not violate the law when he called the presidential election.
This gentleman was being vilified for doing exactly what the minor Kiai court told him to do. It told him, don't touch the results coming out of the polling station. That is the final result.
His defense team argues that attacks against him has a long history and similar pattern like his predecessors by individuals who fail to accept that in any political contest there can only be one winner.
The problem lies with our politics, and the problem lies with our political culture. That cannot be legislated, it cannot be delivered through litigation. It has to be elsewhere.
Regarding reports that the chairman made a unilateral decision to declare final presidential election results, Chebukati says,
integrity is not numbers. And that's why the great statesman said, I protest. I protest even if I do so alone. To do the right thing does not require you to be with the majority. It requires you to be with your conscience.
The breakaway faction led by Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Irene Masit and Justus Nyang'aya was accused of colluding with external factors outside the commission to subvert democracy and the will of the majority.
That we all accept that 138.10 gives a role to the chairman to declare, that regulation 87.3 gives legal roles to the chairman, and case law has given legal roles to the chairman. Those roles, when you put them together, essentially spell out the role of a returning officer.
On calls by the petitioners to have him declared as unfit to hold public office, Chebukati says, like any other commissioner of an independent commission, enjoys security of tenure as guaranteed by the Constitution.
The Constitution cannot countenance that a constitutional office holder is to be witch-hunted in the manner suggested here.
IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati tells the court that he is a victim of political mob justice and that his isolation and vilification is not any different from his predecessors. Duncan Haemba, NTV.